everyone, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com, and today's topic is burial mounds. So the question, it says, hi Lynn, may I ask what these burial mounds contain and to which culture they belong? Many suppose that giants built them. Is this true or false? And there's some WikiLeaks within my post itself. There are also some links to videos that go into showing these mountains. So I will leave that information for you as well if you'd like to do a little research on your own. They are mounds all over the world, Philippines, just different locations, but they all have the same, I guess, theory that maybe giants built these and what's really going on here. So when I focused on the pyramids, the main question, what I wanted to know and what I wanted to get an answer to was, did giants exist? Did they build them? Were they in them? Like, what's going on here? And I've always seen that giants have existed, and many remains are left behind that are tied to them. And one of the ones that stands out most to me, which wasn't mentioned in the question, but I do see it a lot, is Stonehenge. And when I focus on the topic, I always see a giant sitting in the middle of it. So I thought it was worth sharing that again. I see that giants did cohabitate with beings that look to be the humans we know now. So it's like giants were larger humans, and I'm referring to the larger humans did live amongst the humans that we recognize today. And this living arrangement worked perfectly because giants, they had the brute strength while the humans were more intellectually superior. In movies today, many times you might see a giant in the front lines of war, and this is exactly how battles were handled. In more ancient times, their numbers of giants were greater. And as time evolved and they slowly died out due to health complications, I get that part of the issue with them were issues to do with circulation and then their heart. So that's what created a lot of them to die off, and their numbers decreased. And it was a treasure if a king could capture one and use him or her as their own personal defense in times of war. So when you see all these ancient movies where they have a giant in the front lines, you know, and they have the catapults and all that kind of stuff, I get that there is some element of truth to that. And I see that because they did have a lesser IQ, they were easily controlled. They could physically fight, but humans could easily manipulate them. And giants, much like a pet, and I hate describing any like a person like that, but I couldn't understand a better way to describe that relationship, and I felt as though that was a way to at least convey the concept to you. They knew who was doing, you know, these giants, they knew who was feeding them, they knew who was clothing them, providing shelter, and all these kind of things. So yeah, giants could survive in the wild, but by exchanging loyalty and servitude for the more easier life, it created a symbiotic relationship for both of them. So back to the root of the question and looking inside the mounds, I see they were used for burial purposes, but I also see them like a fence line to protect villages. I hear something about, even when a giant or a warrior has passed on, they're still honored by serving as protectors from the grave. And I get giants were intermingled with the humans and buried in this way in these mounds. And I also see that the bodies chosen to be within the mounds were selected based on what they contributed to the village and if they died in battle. Those beings were held in the highest regard, and the mound burial was an honor. Not only did the mound serve as protectors, like these energetic protectors, the height allowed to create lookouts. So it's almost like they were still serving in battle, even in the afterlife. At least that's how it came through to me. So that was really all I got on this, but I'm curious your thoughts. If you've ever heard anything like this, how this resonated with you, by all means, please leave a comment. Also, don't forget to like my video and share my channel. It helps me out a lot. Again, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thanks. Bye.